Will it be today? Manchester City.
Now, Kat, who always has the latest on the sporting world, tell us what is happening in the Premier League.
Well, it could be the last day of the battle for the Premier League title. I mean, there's so much still to resolve with relegation and European places, but it could all come down to today. And what a day of drama it would be as a final day of the season, because it's all coming down to these old rivalries. And obviously you've got City and United, Manchester rivals, but Liverpool and United going head-to-head. And that could decide whether Manchester City win the Premier League title. So it's all very exciting. And morning, everybody. Manchester City will be confirmed as Premier League champions, but only if the United result at Old Trafford goes their way. And in another twist, it could be the reigning champions, Liverpool, that hand City the title. If they beat United, then Guardiola's side will be champions. So pop your champagne in the fridge, City fans. At the other end of the table, Brighton have all but secured Premier League football for another season. They beat Norwich City, will be returning to the Premier League next season. They beat Reading yesterday to seal the... Aberdeen have secured European football for next season. A 2-1 victory over Livingston guaranteed them a top-4 Scottish Premiership finish. Now, away from the football, it was one of the most eagerly anticipated fights in women's boxing last night. The bout between Katie Taylor and Natasha Jonas certainly didn't disappoint the pair. Lewis Hamilton was hoping for his 100th pole position, but he was pipped to the front by his Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas for this afternoon's Portuguese Grand Prix. It's the 1,000 guineas at Newmarket this afternoon in the race. If the race is anything like yesterday's 2,000 guineas, it'll be a real treat. The World Snooker Championship final gets underway later today in front of a capacity crowd in Sheffield. The 2005 winner Shaun Murphy pulled off a stunning comeback to beat Kyron Wilson in his semi-final. Tom Daley and Matty Lee won gold at Diving's World Cup in Japan. It's also Tom Daley back on top of a podium. And there was agony for Geraint Thomas, who was denied victory on the fourth stage of the Tour de Romandie after crashing within metres of the finish line. Watch this. He was watching that, not live, admittedly, but, you know, you just kind of, oh, I'll just watch the end of that, see how that... And then it just kind of comes out of nowhere.
Incredible.
He's in the shot, then he's gone. It just looks horrible. Who would go cycling in that weather?
Thank goodness he's OK.
Thanks, Kat.
No problem.
Right, well...
Good morning. There'll be a capacity crowd at the Crucible later too.
And it could be a deciding day in the Premier League title race, couldn't it?
It could be. I imagine Manchester City fans getting up this morning, finding the best bottle of champagne. They're popping it in the fridge, chilling it for later, because it could be the day that Manchester City become Premier League champions once again. It all comes down to their City rivals, Manchester United, could stop the party. And they're going to need Liverpool, last year's champions, to do them a big favour. And if Liverpool win, then the title will be theirs. I'll just run through those ramifications for you. Morning, everyone. Manchester City will be confirmed as Premier League champions, but only if the United result at Old Trafford goes their way. And it could be, as I say, the reigning champions, Liverpool, that hand City the title. If they beat United, then Guardiola's side will be champions. All of the rest of the day's football on our website, including Norwich tying up the championship title again. It was one of the most eagerly anticipated fights in women's boxing, and last night the bout between Katie Taylor and Natasha Jonas certainly didn't Lewis Hamilton was hoping for his 100th pole position, but he was pipped to the front by his Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas for this afternoon's Portuguese Grand Prix. The World Snooker Championship final gets underway later today in front of a capacity crowd in Sheffield. The 2005 winner Shaun Murphy pulled off a stunning comeback to beat Kyron Wilson in his semi-final. He won 8. Agony for Geraint Thomas, who was denied victory on the fourth stage of the Tour de Romandie after crashing within metres. So good to hear he's OK. Any cyclists heading out on Bank Holiday Monday, the conditions do not look good. Don't make the same mistake.
It's just like...
Wear your gloves.
Cycling on ice, wasn't it? Yeah. Thank you.
Good morning, and there will be a capacity crowd at the Crucible later too.
But in the meantime, there was things and moves to a neighbouring studio. Kat's here, and it's a landmark, crucial day in the Premier League race, potentially.
Yes, it has been brought to my attention in the last hour that maybe Manchester City fans aren't all champagne drinkers. So maybe the fridges aren't full of champagne. It could be beers, One person suggested WKD blues, perhaps, being stocked into the fridges.
Possible.
Sparkling water, whatever it is. But yeah, it could be the day that the Premier League title is wrapped up. Manchester City could be confirmed as champions, but only if the United result at Old Trafford goes their way. And in another twist, it could be the reigning champions Liverpool who hand City the title. If they beat United, then Guardiola's side will be champions. City did their... Busy weekend of sport, this one, but we're going to finish by focusing on the World Snooker Championship final. That gets underway later today in front of a full-capacity crowd in Sheffield. It's part of the government's pilot scheme to ensure fans can safely return to sporting venues. BBC Sport presenter Radzi Players share. It's amazing. Radzi, thank you so much. Hopefully Radzi will be there for us at the Crucible for BBC Sport.
What does the coach do in that situation? He just goes, well, just do your best.
Well, it happens, you know, in so many sports. You know, tennis, it happens in horse racing, you've got a number of runners and riders, haven't you? You know, they just, as long as one of their players wins and they're happy, and it's a win-win situation.
Chris Henry's on a winner then, isn't
exactly,
he?
Yeah, great day for him.
Brilliant.
He'll have champagne in the fridge later.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Thank you very much. Thanks, Kat. Right, it's